So today we're going to go over something to help loosen up hips. I am a big believer in a process called functional range conditioning. I think it's very overlooked that we always kind of lump things into sections, and we're actually going to take our hip and go through our entire full range of motion. This one's really good for my runners or people that don't use maybe all of the motion in the hip. It's not going to be bad for cyclists and those of us that just sit around and tend to have hip pain. So functional range conditioning is based off the premise that we're going to really fire every single muscle in our body while we're doing this exercise. So keep that in mind. You are going to feel that your heart rate is going to go up a little bit, and really we always think about irradiation of muscle tension pretty much from the head all the way down to the toes. I want everything to feel kind of like we're using that intention there, because I at least like joint range of motion where we do this kind of nilly-willy stuff. We do nothing in our life that looks like this. We always do things that are more controlled, right? So we're going to put a lot of control everywhere above and below the joint, and we're going to move that around in all the directions that joint should be moving, okay? So this one you're just going to kind of hold on to something. Sometimes if you have something a little lower, you can do that as well. And once again, we're going to think about radiation. You're going to fire everything through your body. So if I were to give you a little push, you wouldn't move over, right? So we're going to fire everything. You're going to get a little bit breathless possibly. I do when I go through this and teach this one. Well, first we're going to bring that hip up into flexion, right? We're going to go through, your thigh is going to pretty much stay parallel to the floor. So we're going to go up into flexion, and I'll kind of face it both ways here, and we're going to go a little bit into external rotation. We're going to take that leg around. This is the hardest part, where we're going to flip into internal rotation. I'll show you from the side, and it's basically when we put it together, a big joint circle. So we're going to go up. I always like to tilt this way, taking that leg all the way out to the side. Now look at my back. I'm not arching my back to get this motion in. And we bring that through. And I open all the way out to the side as far as I can, turn into internal rotation, which is the hardest part, and bring that leg through. And again, over, flip, and bring that all the way through. Now let's reverse. Back into extension, bring that hip up. Still, I'm not arching my back, flipping that into external rotation and back through. Flip and around. Good. You do the exercise on both sides. About 5 forward and 5 reverse. Bring that hip up. Now this tends to be my sore side. Good, and we're not arching the back, right? We're not stealing this motion from the back. Turn and bring that through. Take that out to the side. Turn, bring that all the way through.